Hey everyone, it's Sean here, deadmonkey342. I'm here. Sorry it's been a while, guys, since I made another video. My last video was a while ago, and a lot's happened. I said I was gonna do like some sort of a vlog thing and upload it, like where I just talk about stuff. I'm not sure if I actually said I was gonna do that, but I did something like that. I totally forgot to upload it. But anyways, I'm just gonna introduce something new onto this channel, and it's gonna be a book reading. Basically, right now I don't have a webcam. I actually have my mom's camera, the blue one, taped to my laptop. And yeah, I got a laptop and stuff, so uploading should be a lot easier. But I have it taped to my laptop right above the Word document that I'm gonna read off of. And it's just, I was so creative. I was like, oh, this will work. This will be cool. Okay. So anyways, I was thinking about creating my own audiobook of sorts. I was gonna read books and just provide my own audiobook of it. I thought that would be pretty cool. But I think I'm just gonna, for right now, I'm just gonna do random readings of books. And the first book I'm going to read is actually still a work in progress. It's actually my book. It's one of the reasons why I haven't been uploading videos so often on this channel. And I hope you guys can see me because the light is a bit dim in here. And if you can hear the music in the background, yeah, 40s music is awesome. I still don't have a title for my book yet. I've been thinking of 2 titles, but I'll reveal those later. So I'm just going to read and stuff, and I'm still in the process of editing. I'm never done editing. It's just, you know. But I'm gonna read chapter 1 and just leave a comment in the comments and tell me what you thought. If you want to hear more, just say, hey, I want to hear more, and stuff like that. And just any constructive criticism would be awesome. Alright, so here we go. Chapter 1. San Francisco at nighttime is a very beautiful place, I'll tell you. The city was always filled with the sweet and salty air of the ocean as it breezed through the city, with its streets lined with local musicians as they played their instruments and stringed together notes to form music, and most of all, the lights of the buildings that shone like a billion suns as they lit up the night sky with a bright orange glow. I lived in this beautiful city. I wandered around its streets alone from time to time, gazing at the shops and the items that they sold, and wishing I actually had money to afford the things I wanted. This is the setting of the story I'm about to tell you will take place. And I just totally, that last sentence was weird. Anyways, continue on. On this particular evening, where I'll start to tell you my story, I was walking along the sidewalk with my friend Lauren. She was holding my hand close and dragged me down to the downtown area, where we went on a sort of annual pilgrimage. This was our first time going alone. My mother usually accompanied us. The trip itself was never really planned. It was always spontaneous. The 3 of us would just go without really having a plan. Wow, I just started sounding like James D. Kirk. Sorry. The 3 of us would just go without really having a plan on what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go. She wanted to get close to the sea and stare at it for a while, she had said, and I went along with her like always. I thought this was going to be another ordinary trip, but I was wrong. Alright, so sorry it's going to be kind of long transitioning. Oh, that works better. Okay. My name is Scott. I was 17 years old during this time. I had medium length brown hair, bright and some might even say stunning blue eyes, and I was tall. To be honest, I was a very nerdy kid. I was into all the anime and all the things that all the nerdy kids enjoyed. And I was picked on sometimes by my peers at school. Not anymore though, thank God. Now let me tell you about Lauren. She was extremely bright, one of the brightest in our classes last year. We were always competitive towards each other, always trying to one-up each other to prove that one of us was smarter than the other. Besides that, we were incredibly close. I've known her for most of my life, and to be completely honest, I was in love with her, and had been for the longest time. My friend at the time, Joe, knew this, and so did a lot of my other friends. Hell, practically everyone I knew that I was in love with her. Everyone except Lauren herself. We were incredibly close, the two of us. Some would even say inseparable, and that's the way it always was. Lauren had bright red, shoulder-length hair, like her hair was being kissed with a bright red flame, and she had her own sense of style, which really did suit her. On one end, she looked and dressed like an attendant at Comic-Con. The other end, she looked and dressed like a member of a punk rock band. I don't like that sentence. That was me editing, sorry. She brought the two styles together perfectly. On this particular night, she wore green high-top Converse that had several rips on the sides. Just normal wear and tear, she would say. Skinny blue jeans, and a Pac-Man t-shirt and a thin black jacket. She also had incredibly beautiful eyes. I could never tell if they were aqua blue or green. Maybe it was a mixture of both. I might never know. This evening was a cold one, I tell you. It was about 50 degrees outside, but felt cold enough to be snowing due to the slight wind current that blew through us. The sun was still out, but it provided us with no warmth. Even through this, Lauren was pulling my arm off to go to the pier and look at the water for a while with the eagerness of a 4-year-old child. She always enjoyed the water, ever since we were little, and every weekend during summer, she'd call me and ask if we could go to the beach or to the pier. I remember one particular time where we went all by ourselves for the first time to the beach. It was cloudy outside and looked like it was about to rain, but old Lauren and me got on our swimming suits and got into the water. The beach itself was practically empty, and those that were there were just staring at us with blank faces as we played in the water. It was a fun day. We played in the water for hours and both of us got burned pretty badly. Afterwards, we went to the arcades and tested our skills in the machines. Both of us were pretty exceptional at games, and neither of us liked to lose to each other. We did have a lot of fun. That very night, I got home and took my shower, then got into my sleepwear and slowly began to drift off. I couldn't get to sleep though, and somehow my mind brought me back to Lauren. I thought of how her face shined in the sunlight. I couldn't get her out of my head, no matter what I tried. I practically stayed up half the night thinking about how beautiful and wonderful she was. My voice keeps cracking, wow. I had realized that I had fallen for my best friend. It was the most wonderful feeling in the world. That was 3 years ago. Okay. Come on, you slowpoke, hurry up. The sooner we can get there, the better, Lauren stated as she pulled my arm. Hey, careful, Lauren, you're gonna pull my arm out of this socket. She laughed. Oh my God, she had the most wonderful and beautiful laugh. Every time she did it, I fell for her more. This time was no different. It's not my fault you're so slow, she teased. Well, if you pull my arm out of its socket, I'm suing you for all the money you have. She pulled out the money in her pocket. Here, take it. You're paying for dinner later tonight anyways. It's your money, Lauren. I got plenty to pay you for dinner tonight. I pushed her hand away. Are you sure, Scott? Lauren asked me. For right now, yeah, I'm sure. I chuckled. But if I run out, I know who to turn to. She smiled. Well, come along then. And she ran down the street, and I ran after her. Even from there, I could hear her laughing from down the street, lit up by the sunset. And that's... I could hear her laughing. Sorry, just quick edit. Okay. I managed to catch up with her and tried to catch her in a hug, but I failed. Instead, she fell on me. And I mean, man, did she fall on me. She turned around in midair as I closed my eyes. As I braced for the impact, I felt the slight tap of the hard concrete against the back of my skull. I opened my eyes. Everything looked a bit hazy. After a few seconds, my vision returned to normal, and I noticed that Lauren was on top of me. She had her arms near the sides of my head to support herself so she wouldn't fall. I still remember clearly the look of red on her face. It was almost as red as her hair, and she seemed embarrassed, like really embarrassed. She took me by surprise and all of a sudden burst out laughing. Lauren always seemed to be happy, even when deep down she wasn't. Sometimes she used her smile to hide her true feelings. Like this one time I remember, the year before. Lauren told me about some girls from our school. The popular ones. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Never mind. And how they stopped her in the middle of the hall, ganged up on her, and made fun of her for being a nerd. She was proud of this fact, that she was a nerd. Anyways, these girls came up to her and knocked her books out of her hands. This included the comic book that she had just got in the mail. The girls noticed it on the ground and began to laugh maniacally. One of the girls picked it up. "What's this? Is this a comic book? Do you like reading comics?" The three of them laughed even harder. "Does this make you feel happy, you freak?" She continued on. Lauren told me she was crying at the time, and she nodded. Then one of the three girls had pushed her up against the wall. "You're a freak of nature, Lauren Gillen. You don't deserve to live." And I want to change that. That doesn't sound okay. And this is just a test reading to see how it sounds when I actually read it aloud. Okay. She let Lauren go, and she fell onto the ground and ripped up the comic book. She told me how they were going to kick her. Lauren described the look of hatred on the girl's face. Luckily, one of the police officers on the campus stopped her. They tackled them to stop the girl from kicking Lauren. The girls were expelled almost immediately, of course. I went to Lauren's house the next day, and I asked if she was okay. She looked at me and smiled widely. But I saw tears in her eyelashes, and I wrapped my arms around her. I cradled Lauren's head as she broke down and cried in my arms. We were right on the front porch. I brought her upstairs to her room and sat on her bed. After Lauren told me the story, she cried on me for nearly an hour. I was rubbing her head and patting her back. Techniques my mother used on me whenever I was upset. And that says moi, when it should be my. My shirt was pretty damn damp afterwards, but she felt better, which is what mattered to me. I never understood why those girls tried to hurt her. Lauren always acted like herself and did what she wanted to do and loved her life. And the person she was. Why didn't those girls understand that? It still bothers me to this day. Back to her falling on me, I could tell that this was one of the first smiles. The smile that was covering up some emotion on the inside, but at the time, I really wasn't sure what it was. I helped her off of me. "Sorry," I said softly, rubbing the back of my head, feeling embarrassed. "It's okay, really," she laughed. "I didn't hurt you, did I?" "Nah, not at all. I'll be fine." She punched my shoulder. You always have to get hurt when you're around me, don't you?" I shrugged. "Maybe it's a curse or something, or maybe it's just because we're so clumsy when we're around each other." "Hey!" She hit me again. I rubbed my arm. "Now if you keep hitting me like that, Lauren, I might have to beat you up," I replied jokingly. "Now that's just not fair, Scott." And we continued onwards down the sunlit sidewalk. And that's the end of chapter 1. This book was written by me. I only have 3 chapters done so far, and I know where I want to take it, but I just have to find the time to actually write and edit. Now, there were a few things I noticed that I wanted to change, like some of the wordings. I want to add a bit more description to some things. And this really helps, just reading it aloud. And I figured since I was reading it aloud, you guys might want to hear it. So if you guys liked it, just let me know. I think it's pretty cool. I spent a lot of time on this, and I still want to spend more time on it. So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully, if you guys like this, I'll do chapter 2 and I'll read it to you guys. So see you guys later. Bye.